Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. So Ethereum did have quite a sizable pullback here, which does not necessarily look corrective anymore. It actually looks quite impulsive, and it is basically the first warning we get here that things could be turning around. We have to be aware of that. So I'm going to take you through three main scenarios that I'm now observing, which are all possible at this stage, but I'm going to tell you what will verify each of these scenarios. So, generally what we can see here is that not too much has changed if we zoom out. We bounced off below resistance, right? So we are still hovering below this red resistance area. We briefly broke above it previously, but couldn't really push through. We didn't hold it, so we came down again. There are basically three scenarios. Let me talk you through each of them. We start with the one that is sort of the most, probably the short-term most bullish one. And this is the one that I still have on the chart here, where we say from the low on the 9th of November, we moved up in a wave A, we came down a B, we're now moving up in a C. That's the one that you know that we talked about extensively. And that in this wave C, we've now seen a wave 1, a wave 2. We are now basically in a third wave. We're coming down in 4 and 5. So this one would be validated if we break above 1308, 1,308 US dollars. If we break above this previous wave 1, that would be the confirmation that we are exactly in this pattern. That we are now moving up next in a wave 3. Or basically that we are in yellow wave 3, but that we are now gonna rally higher, maybe into the region around $1,400 as suggested earlier. Problem with that count is that we are pulling back quite strongly. So if I zoom in a little bit, it would have to be that this is a wave 1 to the upside and here a wave 2 in this particular scenario. So let me show you. Oops, do that. So that this was a wave 1, and then that we're coming down in 2 now, there will be a 3 up, a 4 down, and a 5 up. And the break above 1,308 would confirm that we are in a third wave to the upside. Again, the problem with that is actually that we have 5 waves to the downside, so I can count 5 waves down. It's a bit concerning, right? So it's the first warning that this is actually this is getting quite unlikely now. It's getting challenged. We've now retraced, we have retraced to the 78.6% FIB level at around 1750. That is why I already posted on Telegram and Discord earlier when we saw that red candle emerge, told the channel members that the immediate bullish scenario is sort of limited to 1250. So below 1250, this is most likely not going to work out anymore. What would be the key scenario if we drop below 1250? Well, we could still drop basically to 1238 without invalidating this possible 1-2 setup, but it is just very unlikely below 1250. So the other scenario would be that this wave 2, circle wave 2, was actually never finished. That is possible because it actually didn't retrace very much. So if we draw the FIB, you can see that we only retrace to the 38.2% FIB level, which is not a lot for a wave 2. So it could very well be that what we've got here is just an A wave, here a B, and we're coming down in C. That would be a good confirmation. How do I frame this? The fact that we've come down now in 5 waves actually would confirm this. So I'm actually leaning a little bit towards this scenario. This would still be a bullish case that we've got here a 1-2, 1-2 setup. But in this scenario, and I said that before as well, it's not a new scenario, we talked about that before. In this wave 2, we are limited to 1185. I called out the 1185 level before, because this is again the 78.6% FIB level. So very easy, below 1250, this scenario will get much more likely. And below 1238, I will go with this one. This is still a bullish scenario, we just have to expect a stronger retracement. So that was this one. Yeah, so just to summarize, the previous one, the imminent bullish one, would get validated if we break above 1308. The second one here will get validated if we drop below 1250 and then follow through to drop below 1238. Okay, and then we've got the third scenario. It's also not an unknown one. It's the bearish case, the one that I made you aware when we were here at around $1,300, yeah, or just a little bit below that. Because I made you aware that this could not only be an ABC scenario, it could very well be a WXY. And in the Y wave, we've got enough waves to complete this. That is why I've got here top in place question mark. Okay, so anybody who listened to the previous videos knows that there was an increased risk here that we could drop down. Therefore, top in place question mark. Yeah, because for a WXY pattern, we have enough. Waves in place, right? So this is also not too unlikely. And given the fact that we have now dropped down in 5 waves, makes this also a considerable or a scenario that we need to consider with a high likelihood. The problem is that we won't really know. So let's say below 1250, we've got the WXY scenario, which is very likely, and the one where we come down in a C wave of 2. So these will be the competing scenarios. And we will really only know below 1185 which of these scenarios we're in. Yeah, because below 1185, the wave 2 scenario here will get less likely. That's the second one I showed you. What do I expect now? So if we say, and I said, you know, the imminent bullish scenario is probably getting less likely now, but I will still consider it as long as we are above 1250. But the problem is that we came down in 5 waves. Okay, so what I would primarily expect now is that we're coming down, doing something like this. Wave 1 down, now a corrective pullback in a 2, come down in 3 next, move up in 4 and come down in 5. Off C, off 2. And what you need to understand is that if we now really, let me just move that across first. Oops, so yeah, here. So if we now see a corrective pullback and cannot push above 1308, then expect a strong sell-off in a wave 3. Yeah. Of course, first of all, pullback, yeah, or maybe even 5 wave move up. The next move up will give us a really, really strong clue about how is this going to unfold probably in the next day or two. Because if this now is going to break 1310 or 1308 on the move up, we're going to probably have all our possibilities open to rally to 1400. But if it's going to be a corrective pullback where we might only get to 1280 or so, then expect a strong rally or a strong sell-off down in a wave 3. And then at 1185, we will see the decision. Is it the 1-2 setup scenario, or is it the WXY scenario where we're going to make a new low? Interesting chart. I'll definitely keep you updated. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.